Wassail. It's a beautiful day. I've come to do a video in the park about 4 of the planets that are retrograding at the moment. Pluto, Saturn, Venus, and Jupiter's about to join them in 2 days' time on the 17th. And so there's a lot of slowing down of motions related to those planets. Now, bearing in mind that Pluto, Jupiter and Saturn are the 3 lords of karma, it means that as they slow down together, and they're all clustered in the same area in the cosmos, quite close to the galactic center, and once Saturn moves in with its amplifying effect, we're going to see some massive changes coming. So I thought we would take the cards and just ask about each of the planets and what its role might be and what it might be offering us, because these are not, when planets go retrograde, it's not a bad thing. It's quite a good thing, because it allows that moment for the release and for everything to kind of rain down, and for us to be aware enough to catch it rather than everything moving at breakneck speed. It's a kind of slowing down the retrograde, and that allows the energies to settle. So we'll start with Pluto, because that went first at the end of April, and I'm gonna ask, not from that one, we're going to ask what energies, what's Pluto's retrograde bringing us. Now that card's just kind of slipped off. It's bringing us healing, Pluto, reset. I'm getting the energy of all energies being reset. A massive, I'm feeling like this huge, expansive joy flowing through this. This is, it's big, beautiful stuff. So, mystical shaman, Pluto, please. Mystical shaman, Pluto, please. We've got a spillage, but I'm only going to take the one that was facing up, because I want to try and keep these very simple. Flow, I mean, rainbow dragon energy flowing, whoosh. So this is, I am getting this sense there's a lot to do with the Akashic records being washed clean, collectively for everyone on a global scale. That's something which has been coming up an awful lot, and this really is emotional. So Pluto's really flowing with the most, this is the purifier. This energy here is what is coming in to purify us. So, good tarot, please. Please, can you tell us about Pluto's energy in this retrograde period? Remember, we're heading towards solar eclipse, and this solar eclipse is going to get really important very soon in everyone's awareness. So, there's 2 cards, a 9 and a 10, just to show that we're all online. So we've got 66, 20, 9 and 10. 966 might be worth a look up. So we have the 9 of Earth. What is Pluto bringing? Pluto is bringing a new connection to the Earth, because Pentacles always deal with the real world. It's an anchoring and a rebirth. It's a really I'm laughing because the character has a little crow's beak mask, and I'm being told in my head to draw a reference to to the Black Plague and the long crow beaks that many practitioners wore with herbs in to keep them safe. And it's this idea of the energy of us, how we come back into the earth after this moment that we're going through. And it's about, everyone comes through this alone. We all come through this alone, but we all come through. It's really this thing about the need to address our own energies. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. This is a karmic card. This is, and look, I've noticed this before, but right now, here you are alone, staring out through the Wheel of Fortune, not knowing where it's going. But the point is, you don't have to know. Pluto is bringing flow. You don't need to know the Pluto flow. So I'm gonna just ask for an animal spirit card as well to go with Pluto. Sing your own song, Canary Spirit, number 12. Sing your own song. We have to find our new frequency. There's a really lovely flow in their positions as well. Really beautiful, really purifying, lovely energy. You know, Pluto's often slightly demonized, but everything's changing. This is feminine energy now, sacred feminine, divine feminine. The frequencies are changing. You need to look inside yourself to your silence, your anahata, as my dear friend Anup would say with the Nada Yoga. And you need to hear and understand from this that your own song is the frequency of you in your silence. This meditation that many people do, it's actually worth sitting still, lying still. Just make yourself completely comfortable and listen to your body. And I know people go, oh, and it'll start talking to you and ask your stomach what it thinks. That's not what I mean. I mean, actually open your senses to feel your heartbeat. You will begin to hear your blood coursing. I want you to engage your body and your ear and your feeling as one, to search for your inner silence that is nonetheless a frequency that we don't hear, but it's a frequency that radiates out. And when you stand in your true frequency, you raise the frequency of other people around you because you're unbending in your truth. So that's Pluto. I'm going to tuck him under my belly because the wind's picking up and we're playing a dangerous game with all my beautiful cards near a river. So the next planet that went retrograde was Saturn. That great big Saturn, a beautiful, interesting thing worth looking up is the hexagon wind tunnel tower that exists above Saturn as it spins, that sits over one of the poles. I believe it's the south, but it might be the north. And really, it's new to me. But the interesting thing about it is it's an ancient tornado. It could be a couple of 100 years old. It could be 2 years old, but it's raged for a long time. And it's created a vortex that's so stable that it resonates with the shape of a hexagon, a perfect hexagon. And in the corners of each of the hexagon, the winds rotate at another higher speed. There's a mini vortexes in each of the 6 points. And it's recently changed colour in the last 4 years from blue to gold, which is a real marker of showing you how all the energies of the planets around us are also being transformed into divine, sacred, feminine energy to bring about these changes. This wind, this hexagon wind, has also grown, and they think that might be because it's getting close to the summer, and they only learnt about this hexagon shape about 30 years ago or so. So it's just a really interesting one to look up. It's a great way of seeing science, showing you how the cosmos and the planets have been doing the most amazing frequency dance that we are not aware of. Well, some of us might be at different points, but you know what I'm saying. Science is finding the evidence. So Saturn, what's your message while you're retrograding? Because they're building up a massive deliverance of brand new gifts together. So Saturn, with your hexagon towering tornado that's golden. What are you up to? What are you up to? What are you up to, Saturn? What's your doing, Saturn? What's your doing? It's like Saturn doesn't want to talk to me. Come on, Saturn. There we go. Oh, 2. Ah, so Saturn, reflection, 62. So the things, this reflection, this inner silence that we're going to be looking at, no, go on, look at it. This inner silence is to go back to the primal moment of your original frequency. You're looking within your silence through Saturn, because remember, Saturn was once one of the most important planets, Kronos, time, gods. It's been a very important figure. You're going to be looking for your original frequency in your silence to try and remember the trueness, the fullness of your Akashic records, the water that we see, the flow in this card being brought forward so that you can release these waters, standing in your own Akashic records, but reflecting on not just this life, because that's part of it. We do have to understand how things have happened in our life, but they're created through these old ancestral memories that are all being cleaned up at the moment. It's just what's going on. And so you need to be ready to sort of understand that all of the things that have taken place in your life that you don't like to look at happened for a reason, because they happen to be within the frequency of your DNA. So in your silence, you're looking for those frequencies and letting go of them. It's not that we don't need to learn from them, we do, but what we need to do is detach the physical frequencies from our body. They don't belong to our anhata. They don't belong to your inner silence. So create a sacred space is back. They often talk about Saturn as being one of the most sacred planets, but its sacredness is molecular. It's not consciousness. Consciousness is Gaia. Uranus. That's because it's really Uranus, but I think it should be called Gaia because it's divine feminine energy. This is about Saturn becoming divine feminine energy on the molecules. It's a process by which everything is being transformed to newer frequencies. Newer fractals are coming down from the macro right down to the micro. So create, clear and activate. Create your sacred space. Saturn is the natural world. It's the lower heart chakra. You need to imagine yourself alone on planet Earth. Nobody else exists. They do, but just in this meditation, it's you and planet Earth, and that is your sacred space. Now, if you're in planet Earth alone, nobody is looking at you. There are no eyes on you ever. So during this moment, knowing that you won't be judged for anything you do, what would you do? How will you interact with planet Earth when it's just you and the Earth? And you need to work that out, see it, feel it, how would you exist? How would you live? Would you eat? Would you have a three-dimensional body as you have? Would you just float around as energy? There are so many paths. The point of it is, within this moment, it's to understand from Saturn, from its new divine feminine energy, how to be without any judgment on you, so that you can live in your absolute truth, to activate your pure anhata, your inner silence, and then to bring it to ahata, and to make sounds, to laugh, to sing, whatever you want to do in your space. It's just you and the earth. And then when you come out of those meditations, you will begin to have, and I kind of want to say better judgment towards others, but it's not. You will have no judgment towards others, and that's the point of 2020. Judgment. We're trying right now to go through a point where we activate, and it is forgiveness and compassion, but actually on this point that Saturn's bringing, it's really about releasing the judgment on anybody, just letting go of it. Don't even question why judgment would exist. Everyone's done what they needed to do to get to this point now. They may have darker or lighter stories, or odder or stranger energies that they've been having to deal with as part of the collective, and that was their intended journey. So we have no judgment over them. It's all about being judgmentless in this moment. So let's see what the mystical shaman, Saturn, mystical shaman, please. What have you got to say about Saturn? What do you have to tell us about, say, Saturn retrograding alongside Pluto? Saturn, please. Saturn. You're very... Oh, there was a spillage. I'm gonna take them because they're all upwards in my hands. So we have the curse. This is the DNA that I was talking about. This is ancestral trauma that we've all been carrying. This has been coming up in a lot of readings throughout this year and a bit more as preparation for what's going on. This is always seen as a kind of scary card, but the point is that Saturn is grabbing and pulling this energy away now. It's being collected. This is that sense of I just said, the DNA inherited traumas that are poked in our own lives but don't really belong to our soul. So it will be pulled back, it will be removed, it's being drawn away, and it comes with the moon, because the moon cycles right now are so very important. And the new moon in Gemini that's about to come after this full moon in Scorpio is a rebirth. It's a rebirth energy, and it's a rebirth into analysing our duality. It's the twins, it's Gemini. And that moon will go to its fullness, and then when it rebirths as a new moon again in Cancer, it will be the solar eclipse. So this is all happening in this retrograde period, this dissolving away of a DNA that was inherited trauma. And then we have the earth coming in, coming back, us coming towards the earth, us being at one with the earth, but also I'm being told, changing the duality. As this duality is opened in your meditations, that's you and the earth, you will begin to find a new person inhabiting your sacred space, and that is your higher self. It's the other aspects of you that you can't carry all the time. That's going to become a stronger connection moving forwards. That connection won't be instant, it's slower. So can we have some explainers, please, perhaps, about that, since you've just drawn it forwards? Can we please have some clarifiers? There we go. So the first clarifier is it's magic, people. Look, he's in green. This is divine masculine manifestation. It's not raw masculine. This is wisdom. This is wise, magical changes. This is, I'm being told, the representation of the higher self. It's being done because it works for my visual. It doesn't mean you've got some old man as your higher self. You know, everyone has a higher self. It's an energy. But they've done it to act as a visual for me to understand how to read it to you. And it comes with the 9 of water. This is the wish card. There's crystals, there's jewels. This is just being in bliss, and hidden in a hand is the key. And that's the key to your sacred space and your higher self. This is beautiful. I wasn't expecting this as a message. Oh look, we're on 111. This is a brand new 111. The other card we have is justice. An adjustment, a total adjustment, a rebalancing of all the energies. That's Saturn's part in this. It's changing the energies of our DNA, our physical body, and our lower heart chakra, how we connect with the natural world. That's Saturn's role. So next, oh, sorry, I didn't do the animal spirit. It felt like a completed message, I'll be honest, and that card jumped. Oh, look, otter spirit. Otter spirit, you are never alone. You're never alone, because your higher self, who resides in a higher dimension, in a beautiful place. It's like when you go out into the natural world, you know, if you're drawn to the sea, maybe your higher self lives by the sea. If you're drawn towards particular colours, maybe that's the colour of the sky where your higher self exists. But you're never alone. Your higher self is there with you, and the veil is going to be, is dissolving. It is dissolving. So that's Saturn doing nice things. None of that Satan shit. It's Saturn, and it's gone divine, feminine, and it's doing beautiful things. So now let's go to Venus. Venus, what's Venus bringing? Oh, Venus, freedom. 47, yin and yang. Okay, Saturn is the yang cup, the planet, the earth, waiting for each of our yin consciousness, our higher heart, Venus, to come down and fill them together. And it's a frequency. Everything's a frequency. It's nada yoga. And energy signatures. The past is in the present. This is what Venus is doing. Venus, look, and it's all in higher consciousness colours. It's pinks, it's blues, it's mauves, it's purples, noisy vehicles. Venus is like the activator. The past is in the present. The past, not your past, that is in the present as well, because you have memory, we can remember it, we can think about it. But the past of all of humanity, all the inherited DNA traumas, is in the present, and Venus is the key to that sense of letting go and forgiving, because you've got to draw your physical world's heart and your higher heart together to create a third new heart. I've got no name for it. It's a new heart. I kind of hope they won't tell me. So Venus is changing the frequency. It's being, this retrograde of Venus is really bringing a whole new, it's like emotional language frequencies. It's like the freedom card is there because the horses run with joy, and it's a release of suppressions. Okay, so what do we have from the mystical shaman for Venus? Mystical shaman for Venus. Mystical shaman for Venus, please. What are you up to, please, Venus? Can we please have a card and a message? Okay, so we've got two. Lightning. Lightning, it's connecting with the cards here in the color codes, the blues. This is transformative. There's a figure that you have trouble seeing. Actually, you can see it quite well today. There's a figure, and here is the lightning connecting. This is the, it's not lightning coming down. This is you, everyone. When you connect the hearts, it's stopping having the chakra system as you've imagined, but combine your lower and higher hearts, you get a third heart, and this is connected between the sun and the Earth's crystalline grid through your heart chakra. When you join them, when you bring the shattered two parts back together, you become the lightning. You become the frequency that resonates out of you. And this is freedom for everyone, not just you, but it's that release of the past. And it's saying, just witness. Look, here is the new Eye of Horus coming through, and it's interesting. It's I'm getting messages about it being part of your Earth spirit team, ancestral spirit team. Some of them are here in the world with your spiritual team from the higher cosmic realms, but these are Earth. This is a different spirit team. They're a different group that most of us have not been connected to, and they're coming to join. See, I want to say party. 6465 is also saying this is all in correct motion. Let's go to the good tarot and see. So this witness, why are we being told to witness? Why no, do we not have to be active? Why witness? Why witness? Why witness? Okay. So we have Tower and the World, 1621. Why witness? Because this Tower moment now is global. This is not a small thing. This is cosmically huge. Look, the whole Earth, and yet above the Earth are much bigger things, and below. You know, this is just caught in a moment that's meant to happen, and the sun is ready to come out again. Why witness? Because we have the Chariot. So that's 2 major arcana cards, a 3rd major arcana card. This is big stuff. Venus here, particularly beautiful because this is a divine feminine in the Chariot, which is usually the male after they've co-created a new world together, the divine masculine and feminine. This is the divine feminine, fully back in the saddle, in control. Oh, and of course, look, we have the horses. Once she's in control, the horses are no longer needed to pull the chariot. We're free. Freedom comes. So this energy is that you can't move forwards unless you witness and trust. You can keep doing shadow work. It's good to involve yourself in questions. It makes everything easier, but this will just happen. This Venus energy with the others in retrograde is an inevitability. The idea of witnessing it is to prove a form of trust, not in the universe actually, but in you, in your ability to trust yourself, because there's going to be a lot more loose energies floating around. This is going to ramp up. And it's not a test. It's not a test. It's just learning to be ready for the new energies and to just witness it. And then we have the 4 of Earth. This is the transformation of the Earth. There's a brand new creation coming from her hands. A butterfly awakens, and she's a magical creature. This is the delicacy, but the power of the Earth as it rebirths into divine feminine energy. So an animal spirit card, please. That one flew out, and I was going to say it flew out too quickly, but I'm going to leave it there and ask for the second one. There's actually 2 that have jumped over. So it began with the wasp spirit. Sometimes life stings, and Venus is bringing in changes that are beneficial, and it's going to be amplified by Jupiter, the great benefactor energy, in 2 days' time. But the point of it is that it's going to be very difficult for some people, and that's why a lot of us do the shadow work to prepare the energy so that we can be at a better frequency to help calm others. Because this is going to be, it's not uncomfortable, it's inevitable, but it's going to be, I don't want to say painful, difficult, letting go of a lot of truths. It's going to be a rocky ride, but it's beautiful. And then we have turn knowledge into wisdom. So you've got to turn all of the thoughts that you've ever had that have made you to be where you are now into wisdom, in that's an understanding that everything that made you good and bad brought you to this point, but it doesn't hold as a frequency of the future. So it becomes your wisdom rather than a possession that you fear that you're dragging behind you. And then you have spider spirit, which is make your dreams real. You have to we all have to create new dreams, particularly in this time, in this energy, is to create a new wishes. And you've really, I've said this before, thinking outside the box. You know, if we're going to push this forwards in a sublime way, the more of us that can think fully outside the box, the grander the dream becomes. It will be a grand dream anyway, but it's about participating in the event to feel calmer and more connected and blissful. So that's Venus. Now we turn to big old Jupiter, or Juno, remember, because the Jupiter energy now that's bringing in these wonderful karmic gifts, amplifying them from all the other planets that are offering them, is feminine energy as well. It's like all the planets, they're pushing down those feminine sacred energies right now to bring about this transformation. So Jupiter, please. Jupiter. What have you got for me? What have you got for me? Between worlds, new directions. We are between worlds. And look, it's a beautiful, sunny, shiny, happy card. And it's a slow mover. It's a turtle. Turtles also have some very interesting numerological geometry around their shells. It's very interesting. It's worth a look at. So the message I'm getting from this turtle is it's staring me right in the face. It's like it's stopped to check that we understand. There are fractals being twisted around it. There are rhomboid shapes that are being transformed. There are honeycomb hexagons being brought up, blurring, transforming, becoming three-dimensional. This is about shift so very deep on the quantum physics level that it needs this Jupiter energy to bring about a kind of turbocharging of this moment. And this is fast, I'm being told, very fast. So Jupiter, what else are you offering, Jupiter? What else are you offering, please? What else are you offering, Jupiter? What else are you offering? Okay, fractals. Pause. Stop. Witness. It's 550 as well. 550. So the harmonics, the frequencies, the fundamental building blocks of the cosmos are being changed. We are being changed. Look, it's doing it again. This card from Jupiter has been sent to show, again, this is a connection to our higher selves. Kronos, Time Master, the infinity. There is a whole series of codes, energies coming out of that card. I've just had an ant dash across, like it was trying to get out the way of the changes and the fractals. There's infinity symbols, there's passing through frequencies, there's electricity in this card, there's motionless. It's I'm being told that when we're through the other side, we will be enhanced in that we will be able to carry more of the frequency of your higher self. Sorry, as I'm touching this next card, I was beginning already to pick up the energies. This is like, it's like being in a blacksmith shop. It's like heating something up to meld it. It's not what's happening to us, it's fire, with the person staring their face slowly into the orb of fire to see new creativity and pushing their energy in. It's this is about talking about how the blacksmith part is so that we understand that you can take something that seems very solid in the everyday life, a piece of metal, and you can heat it up, and then you can hit it and you can make it more malleable so that it can be changed in shape and form. And we kind of think, and even science thinks, that the fundamental laws of physics and nature and quantum physics are fixed, and yet in their truth quantum physicists know that there's a fluidity to everything, and no sooner do they capture something than some other element of it transfers or comes to light. It's almost like they're probably the most humid. I don't mean to be that all other physicists have no sense of humour. What I mean is their work often creates humour to them because it's paradoxes and they've learned to accept them, whereas most scientists find paradoxes very uncomfortable. This is a world of paradoxes. Right now they're growing because they're in the blacksmiths. New, brand new. Fire means the beginning of newness, the divine spark, the change, the cleansing. But fire is molecules. It changes molecules, not emotions. Water's emotions. This is the building blocks of everything are being fractally altered. So what does a good tarot have to say, Mr. Jupiter? What does a good tarot? Oh, it got stuck in a repeat then. The same series of cards kept going in and out, in and out, in and out. So, Jupiter, what's with this building blocks, fractals changing? Okay, you're going to have to help me with this one, I'm afraid, because that makes very little sense. Okay, there's a balance of divine feminine and divine masculine. The strength card, it's bringing a new energetic strength. That's a very clear energy. It's almost though in this card like the raw masculine is still giving out a bit of a roar, and it's being comforted by the divine feminine because it's time for it to go back in the box. It's no longer its frequency, and you know, that's something to mourn. Even the divine feminine mourns the loss of the raw masculine, even though the raw feminine was the thing that created that loss. But that's because the feminine loves life and understands that not the destruction, but the loss temporarily of that energy is necessary for life. And this is where I'm confused with these next two cards. I feel like we're still on the fire message. I'm being told this is like, once the raw masculine has gone, we're seated on its emotional masculine, but it's static. It's like it hasn't found its journey forwards yet. Why is Jupiter saying that energy? I need to ask an animal right now. So why Why pausing? Is it just again the witness? Why is the... Now that's really interesting. 52, scarab beetle spirit. Magic works through you. So there's a new magic. It works through you. The more meditative and still you are in your sacred space, the sooner the upgrades can take place. It's such profound frequency changing at a molecular level that the more stationary you can be and witness, the easier the energy. And this is the divine feminine. Oh look, she's whispering to the emotional masculine that everything's gonna be okay. Just stay still and let all these new watery messages, and this is the Akashic records coming through. Okay, they're saying pull Rasuli, one for each planet to give you a journey. So Rasuli please for Pluto. Rasuli for Pluto. Rasuli for Pluto. Rasuli for Pluto. Simple pleasures, look for beauty that is all around you. Simple pleasures, look for beauty that is all around you. It's again Pluto. I need to go back. What did Pluto have to say? Pluto was bringing in all that beautiful energy of the canary and the flow of the emotions. Look for beauty that is all around you. Simple pleasures. Find joy in nature. Okay, thank you. Find joy in nature, because you need to take your own song and play your song to the natural world. So Saturn please. Saturn please. Saturn please. Saturn please. Saturn please. What do we have for Saturn? I love this card. Fine wine. Longing is the portal to wholeness. And it's fine wine. So this is... It's the longing, oh, okay. It's the longing for a connection with your higher self that triggers the allowance of your understanding that your longing to be in the natural world is what will fulfill your connection to your higher self. They're kind of saying that in the past, in the past, many of us who were empathic connected directly to the spirit, but the point is we need to connect to the spirit via the earth. We have been, the earth's always been in there, but we've not been thinking of it that way because the energy of the earth was uncomfortable for many people. So you have to long for the earth to be your portal to your higher self and the spirit realm. That's really interesting. So Venus. Oh, that was not anything. Venus, there we go. Oh, Venus has come out with 2. Make friends. Friendship is the alchemy of success. Make friends with the world and with others. This is when you forgive. When you connect your heart, you can connect to everything. You can make friends with everything because your frequency is so true. And then concealed power, give birth to the wonder of revelation. That's you. The concealed power is your higher self. It's just that you can't pull it through the veil at the moment, but you will. There's a mistiness. to both of these cards, and that's what Venus is trying to clear. And Jupiter, please. Jupiter, Jupiter, Jupiter. Live in the moment. What you were looking for is with you. I mean, it's telling me that this is you and your higher self. Yeah, they're kissing-ish. They're actually, this is not kissing. Kissing, all the sexual things are something from down here. This is merging. This is energy merging because you're connected, but you haven't had a stronger connection. And it's actually around the third eye and the throat. It's all to do with this ability to join together at the crown. It's like me standing on my own head upside down above me, and that's my higher self coming down like a hanged man. The hangman card, they're telling me, that's what it represents. The hanged man is when you're in limbo because you are not in connection properly with your higher self, but you're disconnected, and so you're not receiving the messages. So it's by going into the earth, by connecting with nature, you can then make friends, find your frequency, release your concealed power, and live in the moment. Surrender to actual movement that takes place now. So that seems to be it. Do you please want any final message? You just want one of these animals. So to end, little animal spirit card. That one flew out. Oh, it's porcupine spirit. Time for beginner mind, because we've got to begin everything again if we're going to all move forward. Well, we are when we move forward, but the beginner mind, because to go at this innocently will allow you awe and wonder. And actually the point of that is when you see a child running at something brand new for the first time, there's a wonderful energy. It's a frequency that we've dulled. And that's what we need to go back into our blacksmith's forgery for, because we're a forgery. We need to warm through, change our frequency, resonate with a new truth. These retrograde planets are giving us the perfect opportunity to begin this process, which is going to have its culmination on the solar eclipse on Midsummer's Day, and it's going to be big. So anyway, wassail.